Hello, warriors. I'm recovering from a mixed episode. I put the video where I explain this episode in further details on the link below. But basically, this episode was caused by a bad reaction to the withdrawals of Lexapro. A mixed episode is something where you feel very excited at the same time, very energetic, but at the same time very depressed. So it's similar to what bipolar people have, although I might not be, and I'm almost sure I'm not bipolar. So my mixed episode began with insomnia. I stopped sleeping. I just couldn't sleep. And it wasn't a regular type of insomnia where I could just take regular sleeping pills. It was really, really, really bad. And it provoked huge bouts of anxiety, and I just couldn't handle myself anymore. I had these horrible thoughts, paranoid, anxious thoughts, OCD thoughts, anything you could imagine. So the first thing that I took was when I ran into the emergency room and I said, "You have to give me something." And they gave me this. This is pregabalin. Here in Belgium, they call it Lyrica. What it does is it calms the anxiety. It really did nothing for my insomnia, but it stopped my racing thoughts. So it gives me this state of equanimity where I don't get as anxious about things anymore. For example, at work, I used to always think I'm going to get fired. I'm going to get fired because I can't sleep, and I'm going to get insane, and the thoughts keep rolling. And pregabalin usually stops this thought process, so that's useful for that. I started with 75 milligrams, but then it wasn't enough, so I take 150 milligrams at night. So this was the first one that I took, and it wasn't enough. And then my therapist said that I had to take a mood stabilizer because what I was having, the mixed episode, was really a mood crisis. So I went to another shrink and she gave me lithium. She said this could easily be solved with lithium. And by that time I was already having suicidal ideation. It was getting out of control. And I started taking the lithium. This is the one that I take. It's Camcolit. That's the brand name here. I take one pill at night, one pill in the evening. And then what happens with this is that you have to check your lithium levels to see if you're within the therapeutical range. And you have to constantly make blood tests because lithium can have side effects. One of the side effects that it made on me is that my thyroid slowed down. And I just feel like a sick person, but maybe I am. There's no problem about it. My thyroid started to slow down. We tried to control it with some natural substances, but it didn't work. So now I have to take this, which is some hormone for the thyroid. And in 4 weeks, I have to see if it works, or I have to up the dose or lower the dose, or just go off the lithium because my shrink says that I should start going off my medication soon because the crisis is starting to solve itself. So the medication that I'm taking is quite heavy, and I should start going off it. But with the pregabalin, with the lithium, still my insomnia wasn't solving itself. The lithium kind of slowed me down a bit, so I wasn't as hyped up and as nervous, and I wasn't as energetic, which was a good thing for me because I was too energetic. But it didn't solve my sleep problems. It didn't solve my suicidal ideation either. I mean, it kind of helped, but it didn't really solve it. So I had to start taking also sleeping pills. I take but the thing is my shrink said these sleeping pills you take, and they're so strong that no one can resist it, so for sure you're going to sleep. This is called Dominal Forte, and I don't know, this substance, if you put it on the internet, you wouldn't even find anything related to it. It's really, there's not a lot of research on it. There's not a lot of people that take it, but I know that I trust my shrink, and she says, well, this is what people take when they have really bad insomnia. So I tried it, and at the beginning, when the lithium still wasn't working, it didn't work as much as it should. I would fall asleep for like 6 hours, and then I would wake up all hyped up again, and that would be also very frustrating. And then when the lithium started working, there were times where it worked, there were times where it didn't work. And in the meantime, I already had a benzo with me, which is called I forgot. Oh, cloxazolam is this one. And I would take it when my suicidal ideation would get really bad. So I started mixing the cloxazolam with the dominal, and I told my shrink, and that makes me sleep like an angel. That makes me sleep really, really well. That's when my suicidal ideation started to subside, really. The mixed episode symptoms were already starting to subside, so I wasn't as energetic and hyped up and anxious, and my thoughts weren't racing so much. So maybe the remaining insomnia was mainly due to the anxiety. But yeah, with these two, now I sleep like an angel, and my suicidal ideation is started to resolve, and I'm starting to feel like myself again, and I don't know, feel like I can live again, and feel less fearful of going to bed. Yeah, but just to say, this is the conclusion of my video, okay? Be really careful with what you take. Be careful when the doctor says to you, yeah, I'm going to give you an antidepressant, because it can cause more problems than benefits sometimes. So things for the head are really, really complicated. I'm really afraid of what I take, honestly, but I know that I had to do it because it was a matter of life or death. But be careful, because you can end up in a worse situation than what you started with. So that's it. If you have any doubts, any questions about this, just let me know. Send me an email or leave me a comment. And if you are suffering from a mixed episode, I hope you do well. Go to your doctor before you take anything, but this is also to say that this is what helped me from my mixed episode. So maybe if your doctor is not seeing things as you're seeing, know that there's things that you can take and that can make it better. If you're in a desperate situation, you can always resort to other medications. There's a lot of things out there that can help you. Okay, happy healings.